Hey, this is Anthony Carlson. This is something that I've been thinking about doing for a while now. A lot of stuff's been going on in my brain, thinking about a lot, and I've been thinking about starting podcasts. You know, Obviously, you guys don't, not everyone. Some people who know me will know who I am. Who I am, where I came from, who I thought I was, and so I'm just gonna give you a slight background. This is something that's new to me. I've never done it before. I just been seeing a lot of stuff going on recently. I pay attention to a lot of things that a lot of people don't think I'd pick up on. But that's because I built such a content mind and body that I don't care about everyone's beef. I don't care about everyone's drama. Um, I'm going in my own lane. I'm doing what's best for me and my family, because that's something that I didn't have. I grew up single mother, little brother. Um, you know, my mom broke her back when I was little, so it always made me think. I was I was the man in the house. I was one responsible for keeping my mother safe, keeping my brother safe, and it warped my mindset growing up, and I started acting out when I was young. I was always hanging around the older crew, the misfits. That's where I felt I fit in. I went to an all white school. I was the only colored kid. There was one other colored girl there, and I always felt like the odd one out. No one liked me. No one wanted to be around me, and I was cool with that. I was okay because I found my people, right? And those people were always showing me ways to get money, ways to help my family. So I started smoking at a young age. I started drinking at a young age. And it evolved into me getting into a lot of trouble as a kid. I'll go into DYS, come out, do the same things that I was doing before, in and out, in and out, in and out. And it warped my mindset, because I thought my mom would never kick me out. She needs me, and turns out, I was causing so much havoc in my area that it wasn't. She didn't need me doing that. She didn't need me doing all that extra stuff. So my mom's and brother ended up moving. I wasn't there to help put any food on the table, any money. My mom couldn't pay the rent anymore. So we moved out. I started gang banging at a young age. I got affiliated. Listen to the music that I grew up on. The drugs, the money, the cars, the girls, the clothes. I wanted that lifestyle, right? So that's what I did, and it brought me to some of the darkest places I've ever been in my life. I was so lost and stuck. I didn't know where I wanted to be in life. I didn't know who I wanted to be around. I always thought, I could cheat my way through life and make it. Everyone else is doing it. Turns out, now that I have my head on straight, that's not the case, and that's not how life works. You have to put in the work to get what you want out of life. Um, so I lived that lifestyle for a while, and it brought a lot of pain to me and others around me. And my little brother ended up, acting out too. He seen what I was doing. He seen that I was having fun, or what I thought was fun. Um, I was very good at containing my emotions and being able to show people that, my life was good. It looked all right from the outside, but in the inside, man, it was a mess. So I kept doing those things. I kept seeing what this life would bring me, right? My brother started acting out, and he was following my lead. He always looked up to me, and I always brought him down the wrong path. I take full responsibility of that, which is funny because that's a lot of stuff I don't see people doing today, is taking responsibility for their actions. I can admit today, I'm not perfect. I'm never gonna be perfect. I don't try to be perfect. I'm not unique. I'm not different than anybody else. My background might be worse. It might be better than other people's. It is what it is. Um, I know who I am today, and that's the best gift that I've gotten. But anyways, so we ended up getting kicked out of our apartment, and we moved into my aunt's house, and I brought myself with me, typical Anthony, running Anthony's life on Anthony's willpower, and I've come to realize every time I force something, I'd run my whole entire life into the ground. I never gave myself an honest opportunity because I was always the one in the way of everything. I was always the one getting stuck up on everything and everything around me. That's my fault. That's nobody else's. But I love to play the victim. It's always everybody else's fault. If my life wasn't like this, I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing. If I had a better growing up, maybe I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing. Well, as I've gotten older over time, I've realized I can't change my past. It is what it is. There's so much stuff that I wish I could change, but I know I can't. So I stopped doing that. Stop wishing things would change, things were different, because they're not. I have a chance today to make those things different. So, anyways, I moved in with my aunt, and my mom's ended up having a heart attack, and it was just me, my aunt, and my little brother at this point. I was working night shifts, closing, and my brother was working. He wasn't working, my fault. So my brother was going to school, actually. He wasn't working. And we never had any time to spend with each other towards the end. And I got home one night, and we got into this brutal fight. I told him I hated him, I never loved him, that I wish that he was dead. All he was doing was drag me around. So I stayed away from him for a couple hours. I came upstairs, and I found him dead. And I tried to bring him back to life. I did everything I could, and I had this mentality that, oh, it's gonna be all right. He's gonna be okay. He'll pull through. And that wasn't the case. He ended up dying. So now I had a choice, right? It was on me to continue to move on. I could ruin his name and keep doing the same stuff that I was doing before, and continue to run my life into the ground, or I could make a change. Make something out of myself. He always wanted me to have a life, something that he could brag to his kids about. He wanted me to be that uncle that he could brag to his kids about. He was always a glass half full kind of guy. He always seen the potential that I had, but he knew that I would use my potential into doing worse things because I thought I was better at the street life. Well, it turns out, once I started to put my head in the right spot into what I wanted to do, figure out what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be, who I even was, because before I didn't know who I was. I was so lost, I was so stuck in my ways, depressed. When I was 17 and a half, I hung myself in my kitchen, and, so ever since a young age, I always thought there was nothing left on this life for me to live for. No one wanted me around. I burned everything that I had down to the ground, thinking that I knew what I was doing. And, over time, I built some of those things back, and a lot of those things I can never get back, and I have to accept that. Acceptance is huge to me. Because if I wasn't able to accept, I wouldn't be able to move on with my life. Realizing, I literally couldn't do absolutely nothing to change the fact that I did some of these things that I'm not particularly proud of. And I probably will never be proud of them. But the longer you hold on to that and beat yourself up over it, you're only hurting yourself. It's never going to change anything ever if you keep doing the same things that you were doing before. So, I decided to make a change for the better, make something out of his name, not let his name go to vain. And that's what I've been doing. It took so long to have a peaceful, calm, serene, content mindset and alter ego that I've built over time. A lot of people hate me for how calm I am. and that's okay because I'm truthfully at peace with myself. And for me to go through what I've been through as a kid to get to where I am today, it's truly a miracle that I haven't spent all this time ruining my life more. You know, a lot of people, just from perspective, just from what I see around, a lot of people can't do that. They don't know how to be content with themselves and have peace, figure out what you like. And like I said, I didn't know what I liked. So I wasn't able to be at peace with myself. My ego was so high, I had to make everything look so good from the outside. Even though I was destroyed mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually destroyed on the inside. But I wouldn't let you see that because I didn't want you to know that I was hurting. Even though it was so noticeable, I tried to play it off so well that it actually ruined me because I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't let them know what was going on the inside, and everyone could see it. But I was so stuck in my head. I thought, no one notices, no one knows what's going on in my life. And after I lost my brother, my mom started to die from heart failure. So now I had a choice. I could I could ruin everything in my life even more and go, I was at the bottom. But every time you're at your bottom, there's always something lower than that. You can keep going down and down and down. So it all depends on how you want to move forward in this situation because you don't have a choice to go back. All you have is a choice to be better tomorrow, a choice to be better that day. Self-reflecting on how did I go wrong today? What could I do better that would make me a better person tomorrow? What could I do better today that will truly help me stay content with who I am and what I want to do? So I built these little tools, and I had a choice. I didn't just build them from, not talking to people, not putting in work. I realized when your environment and your network plays a huge role on who you are and what you want to do. You hang around bad people, bad things are going to happen to you. You'll grow a bad mindset. You hang around rich people, soon you'll become rich. You hang around book smart people, soon you'll become book smart. As human beings, we naturally learn and gravitate towards what's around us. And as soon as we put ourselves in the wrong situations and we continue to gravitate towards worse things, it's all a perspective of what your mind thinks on what's best in this situation. Instead of taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, what's around you, who you're around, what you're doing, what you could be doing better. So after he died, I didn't have a choice. I had to go on my own. This time I was 19 years old. I didn't have anything going for me. I didn't know who I was. I hated the world. It was always everyone else's fault. I was always the victim. If God was real, why would he do all these things to me? Why would he let me down? And I had to stop using that piss poor mindset because it was getting me nowhere. I couldn't work. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything that I needed to do as a man, right? So I continued to move forward. I ended up moving into a transitional house, got a job, was working, and me being who I was, I didn't know what I wanted. I got into school, and I was paying my rent, cooking, cleaning, doing everything that a man should do. And it's funny because nowadays you see people and they're like, I do this, I cook, I clean, I do my laundry, I fold my laundry, I clean my house, I work, I go to school. Bro, that's what normal people are supposed to do. You want a cookie for doing what you're supposed to do? And that was something I could never pick up when I was younger. I thought, if I just cheated my way through and got as much money as I could, my life would be good. And it ruined my whole entire mindset on life itself. And now that I've done so much work on who I am and what I wanted to be, I've truly gotten to this place where I know what I want, and I know that I have to put in the work to get to where I want. You know, I heard some great things. You know, the dreams are free, but the work is sold separately. You know, you have to work towards your dreams. You don't just wake up one morning like instantly rich. That's not how life works. You don't wake up one morning and all your problems are gone. They're still always going to be there. Pain's still always going to be there. As humans, we have to feel. So as soon as I stopped running from my feelings and actually faced them head on, I've learned how to get through tough situations with the support of my network, you know. And as soon as I've done that, I was able to grow into who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. Like I said, you know, I got into school, I didn't know what I wanted, but I found out, you know, very quickly that it wasn't my thing. You know, I needed to figure out what I wanted to do, what makes me happy. A lot of the richest people in the world, they didn't go to school. It all is a matter of what you want to do. You know, you hear if you do it if you do what you love for work, you're technically not at work. You know, so I had to figure out what that was. You know, I started hitting the gym, and you know, growing up, I used to be very fat, very low self-esteem. And you know, that's another thing that helped me gravitate towards those bad people, because they helped me fit in. I didn't feel uncomfortable, but it's funny too, because you have to go through uncomfortable phases to progress in life. I found out that I thrive my best in uncomfortable places and situations. So I continue to move towards that attitude, and gravitate towards what makes me feel uncomfortable, and what I need to do to continue to move past these fears, in emotions, you know. So I started going to the gym, very uncomfortable for me, you know, fat, no muscle, no nothing. And you know, I fell in love with it. You know, it turned from a habit to a lifestyle. You know, between my dieting, what I ate, what I drank, what I took in my body, how many hours of sleep I got, building a healthy regimen and a healthy routine for my life at that time. And it helped me excel in these emotions that I didn't think I would be able to excel from. You know, I don't have to take any meds for depression. I don't have to take any meds for anxiety. You know, I built such a strong mindset from going and doing things that I didn't want to do because of the benefits of those things. Hence, going to the gym when you don't want to, eating strict meals when you don't want to. You know, it's all about what you choose to do, and that's not something that's given to you. You know, there's a will for things that you can achieve, and there's a will for things that you can do too much of and run yourself into the ground. Meaning that, what I mean by that is, when I took my will back and did what Anthony wanted to do, hence taking too much stuff on or doing the wrong things an abundance of times, it would ruin my lifestyle. But you have a choice. You know, you don't have to do these things. It's a choice. And once you can step back and rethink about the choices and decisions you're making on a day-to-day basis, that's when you'll be able to progress. So why I said that is because going to the gym, eating meals that you do not want to eat all the time, you know, so sometimes you're having chicken and rice and broccoli, and you just want to go to McDonald's and get that Big Mac, right? But you know, to benefit, that's not an option. You know, there's a difference between wills that will benefit for you and wills that will run you straight into the ground. You know, so there's a happy balance that you have to find in between those wills. You know, what will is right for you and what will isn't right for you. So, you know, I fell in love with that gym lifestyle, and it built me such a strong mindset that I was able to progress, physically, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. You know, it got me closer to a higher power of my understanding. Now, I'm not religious. I don't go to church, none of that. But I do believe, you know, in the energy of the universe that things happen for a reason. You may never know what that reason is, but you have a chance today to fix anything that you created as a result of what you do. And what I mean by that is, if I create a mess today, I have a chance to clean it up, you know? That's in my perspective of now. And what I mean by that is living in the present, living in the moment, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that. They live in the past, thinking they can change stuff that happened in the past. You can't. You can change stuff that happens now. You can't change everything, you know. Let's keep it real, you know. A lot of things you're not gonna be able to change, and you have to be okay with that, you know. So that's why it's best to do what's best in the moment. That's not only gonna benefit you, but people around you, people in your circle. You know, bad things have a ripple effect to your surroundings, and good things have a ripple effect to your surroundings. It all depends on what thing you're doing at that moment. Instead of thinking about the future and all my problems that I have to fix, and what I'm gonna do in 5 years from now, and how am I gonna, you know, what about my wife, and what about the kids, all that stuff, dude. That will come, you know, that will come over time. You're sitting here stressing yourself out about something that's happening years down the road. You don't even know what's going on. You could wake up tomorrow and break your ankle, and then it will never heal right properly ever again, and you might not even be able to walk, and now you can't do what you love. Or there's millions of scenarios of things that could happen that are completely unexpected. It's about how you handle those situations when they come about. So continuing on with what I was talking about was, after I built, you know, that lifestyle in the gym, I found out what I loved, what I wanted. You know, I started getting into Muay Thai, which is a lot of people probably know, some people don't know. It's a form of martial arts. It's like kickboxing almost. And I fell in love with that sport. And it's funny because all the pain that I run to, my favorite things to do involve inflicting pain, which kind of sounds cooked, but you know, it is what it is. That's what I enjoy personally. And you know, building these hobbies and these lifestyles and these routines, I've come to a very calm and serene place, you know. And I decided what I wanted to do in my life. I decided what will make me happy. So as long as I keep gravitating towards those things, I have a very strong chance of succeeding, realizing what's for me and what is not for me. Because that's something that I had to go through by myself. You know, I wasn't handout through everything that I went through in my life. I had to make a decision. You know, I had to put my big boy pants on and think, you know, what can I do to help Anthony and the people around Anthony? So that's what I've been doing. That's what I continue to do. This is just an intro. It's about a 25-minute long intro that I want to do, you know, just to let you know who I am, where I came from. I'm going to be doing a lot more, I think, on, you know, different aspects of life, acceptance, joy, serenity. I have a whole bunch of topics lined up, and I might grab a couple of other people, you know, and pick their brain as well. But I just wanted to see, you know, how this would go, if it's gonna go good, if people are gonna enjoy my content, or if I'm gonna be wasting my time, you know, because there's a lot of stuff that wasn't said in this video today, that I'm planning on saying in future videos, just to try and be helpful, you know, because no one ever helped me. I feel like when I listen to motivational people, motivational speakers, people who have been through what I've been through, or similar cases, or just know the feelings that I've felt before, I tend to gravitate towards what they're saying, you know, taking suggestions on how they were able to prosper in life. So that's a little bit of what I'm thinking of doing and what I'm probably gonna do. So if you enjoyed, you know, please let me know, and I'll continue to make more content. And like I said, I'll have more people come on the show. It won't always be motivational, you know. Sometimes, you know, I like to catch wreck. Life is about having fun, you know, figuring out what you love, having fun, and making something out of yourself. And you can't do that by yourself. So, thank you.